We don't just want to embark on a journey where we're offering theory and concepts and we're sharing technique. We actually want to impart the tools that students can implement in their lives so that they can be successful, they can build careers, and move into a place in their life of right livelihood, and where they can do the vital work that heals the services of the planet and brings community together in a peaceful way while getting paid to do that work. One of the foundational aspects of this program is the business track.
Our whole design is based on very small businesses, but you can scale it up. And it is corporate because guess what? Corporations are really good at getting shit done. Okay? If you look at the world, who's getting shit done? It's either the corporation or the government or the military. But they know how to execute a plan, they know how to delegate, they know how to get shit done. We're taking some of these skills and putting them out to the progressive movement.
Being able to communicate with people, especially people that are paying you money and don't agree with you, it's a skill. And nonviolent communication doesn't just mean if you're fighting or it's with your partner. It's like, in general, how we're able to communicate what we need, what we want to offer.
Be self-critical, take responsibility, don't make excuses, immediately assume responsibility for your mistake to yourself and to the client. At that point, then you can learn from it and learn how to go on. But if you make excuses, you'll never learn.
We focus on design.
When you see a pattern in nature, it's almost always nature's way of solving a design problem.
We go everywhere from drafting, site assessment, concept design, master planning, presentation styles, surveying, creating topo maps, operating laser levels, using drafting skills. This is our whole design suite that you learn here at the Permaculture Skills Center during the ELI program. We have an incredible focus on water.
What are the criteria of success that you evaluate the efficacy, right, of your design? And I think that Luna Leopold here, this idea that the health of our waters is the principal measure of how we live on the land, for me, is pretty much sums it up.
We look at how do we harvest water, roof catchment, harvesting in the landscape, keyline design planning, gray water, bioremediation. How do we change our relationship to water to get the capital that water brings us, which is life, which is nourishment, which is a vegetated, healthy planet. We look at soil and soil fertility. How do we manage our soil ecosystem, this organism that's under our feet at all times, that is providing the vital nutrients and minerals needed to grow our food, to grow our fiber, to grow our fuel, which ultimately grows our community and grows our civilization. Soil is a vital part and foundation for any kind of land steward work, design, implementation. And so students of this program have had an opportunity not only to learn the concepts behind soil fertility, but actively implement things like cover cropping, building compost, compost tea, sheet mulching, plant communities that build soil, and a whole host of understanding of how do you treat soil, how and when, what activities do you do in the right season. And the competency that we're seeing already in just 6 months, the competency that we're seeing in the students is in their progression and learning these systems and building this relationship to soil is absolutely amazing.
Make the connection between dead material and living plants and living animals by being purposeful in the decomposition sequence.
Plants. We learn everything about plants. How do you build community with plants? How do you heal the soil with plants? How do you clean water with plants? How do we set up perennial food production for the future generations? This is all seated in the perspective of agroforestry, of sustainable forestry, of silviculture, of plant guilds, of food forests, edible forest gardens. We don't just talk about this stuff in the program. We design them, we plan them out, we implement them, we watch them grow, we maintain them. And as we build a legacy here at the Permaculture Skills Center or some of the other satellite sites that will be doing our work, Future ELI participants and future programs will have the opportunity of experiencing the legacy of each class as we build new food forests, new agroforestry systems, plant trees, and really think about the multi-generational food production, multi-generational medicine production, multi-generational fiber and fuel and weaving. This is the relationship that we're building with our plant communities, one that we've had since the beginning of time of human evolution, and one that is vital for the health and thrivability of our descendants. Animals. Animals turn out to be a fundamental key to how we can scale up the healing of the planet. We talk about animals from the point of view of small scale of relationships with animals, working with animals in a rotational grazing process to build soil, to manage ecosystems, manage landscapes, grow food. We also look at the holistic management aspect of working with animals. How do we heal broad acre landscapes, hundreds of acres of land, through the rotation of animals and that relationship to managing grasslands and managing pasture? Community building.
Then applying this whole permacultural design stuff to communities and with communities to really build the capacity of communities to design their own solutions for themselves.
One of the biggest harvests that we've discovered during this program has been the level of community building that's arisen through the process of working together in design, working together around how do we assimilate all this new information around land stewardship? How do we assimilate this information around how we show up in the world, to do work in the world that affects the world in a positive way? And it's that core of the community that's been developed here, whether it's through the process of a day of class, or it's the community councils that happen after hours, whether it's the group design projects, or it's the team building that goes on. We do a lot of role playing, we have a lot of fun, and we really get to know each other. And one of the greatest harvests out of that is that everyone in this program has this strong foundation of community to move their work in the world forward, to discover a new way of living in harmony with the land. And also, we've created almost a think tank in a way, where we can get very critical and deliberate around techniques and their viability, best management practices, organizational structure, and we talk about these things in a community setting where strong questions are being asked, and that as a group we have these incredible discussions. And what comes out of those discussions, what comes out of that process of being in community while learning these skills is more than the content, it's more than the curriculum. It's something that will be lifelong, relationships and friendships that will last forever. And it's a network of highly skilled and highly talented individuals that make up this community. So we're already seeing some of the skill sets working in a symbiotic way, as someone is a really good carpenter or a really good technician around something, and how we support each other is starting to create a very powerful community setting. And as we end the program and move on into the world with the work, it's these kinds of foundational relationships that I feel are part of our recipe for success and part of a core thread in the program. Action. At the Permaculture Skills Center, one of the things we want to do is provide a support structure, a mentorship structure for students, for our community members as they move out into the world. So we don't want to just let folks leave without any connection or association. We feel like the action in the world, the work in the world is so vital and it's so large, and we need to scale it so quickly that we have a very action-oriented approach to how we facilitate the movement of students out of our programs and into the wider world, into the wider community.
What you folks are doing here is leading the vanguard of a new direction that is ultimately sustainable, and it respects nature and biodiversity, and it really preserves the ecosystem for future generations. You know, it's not ours to steal from our descendants. That's just not right.